tell you, the thing is, the symbolism of it. J.T. Johnson was actually the one who jumped in the water in 1964, and it created a big hullabaloo. And for us to be able to invite the mayor of St. Augustine up here to swim in this special pool with us, it shows how far we've come. And I think basically his interest is in how Atlanta developed. I reminded him that when Bernie Marcus came here the year I was elected mayor, and he came here broke.
Wow.
And they developed Home Depot, and they made enough money to give this aquarium back to the city, and fancy equipment to Grady, and Arthur Blank supports the symphony and the Falcons and everything else in town. And it all came from, I think, running a good city and basing it on the growth on tourism and conventions. And of course, this now is one of our major tourist attractions. And people come from all over the world to see what we've done here. And I was surprised that they were willing to let me get in the water with the fish. But you know, every day you don't have a whale shark coming right up under your stomach. And then I didn't know, when his tail was coming, I didn't know which way to duck because he was swinging both ways. But they told me to flatten out, and he didn't bump me much.
How important is it to remain active as you get older in life and still do different exciting things like this?
Well, you have to. And I'm a Satchel Paige fan. Age is nothing but a number. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. So I try to swim at our Y pool 2 or 3 times a week. And I can get in a half a mile in about a half hour, 45 minutes.
How was this different today?
This was different because I was weighted down by, I really would probably like to get in there with just a mask and no flippers and just kind of free dive. But I don't know how the fish would take to that. I think they're accustomed to people being on the surface, and they come as close as they want to come, and they're very friendly.
So tonight's the Atlanta Film Festival. Your film will be tonight?
The film is a film about St. Augustine, and it'll show at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then it'll show a few weeks from now, probably on one of our local stations. But we want to get these into public broadcasts, into our schools, and our kids don't know enough, and they don't read enough, and so the more information we can get to them, and the younger we can get it to them, the better. So we did one about Willie B. and the zoo, because all our kids relate to Willie B. and the zoo. But in talking about mountain gorillas, we took them to Rwanda and showed them the mountain gorillas in their natural habitat. And so it's a teaching experience. America is a world leader, whether we want to be or not. And yet half of our Congress brags that they don't have passports. So how are you going to lead the world if you don't know the world? And so we've got a whole generation of kids that we've got to bring up as global citizens. And Atlanta's a good place for that.
Has St. Augustine come as far as it should have in race relations?
No, it really hasn't. And one of the things that happened was in Birmingham and Atlanta and most of the cities where we worked, there was a biracial committee that continued working after the demonstrations. St. Augustine was settled by the passage of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And so the laws changed, but they didn't continue working together to change the attitudes.